Yes, and welcome back once again. Karibu sana Barry, right?
Asante.
And Wendy, good
Thank
to see
you.
you this week.
Thank you.
Of course, it's the fan zone. And we're going to get into the crux of the matter. It's all about the news or headlines across the borders on the back pages again. Tottenham sacking their manager. When did you think Postecoglou, maybe that was like late yesterday, but surprising news from Tottenham.
I feel like that's the worst decision Tottenham yote imefanya. I mean, this coach amewashow anaweza fanya something. He can improve. Like amewafanya wakakuwa na trophy after how many years?
17 major trophy, 17 years, 43 years, European title. Yeah.
Exactly. Ndio wamemaliza at the last kwa table, but kuna improvement. Wamepiga Manchester United. This is a very good team. This is a very good coach. Maybe they used to fail him.
Yeah. So Barry, Postecoglou winning the Europa could not matter for him.
Maybe
He was on the chopping board all along.
I think his job was always on the line, considering they didn't make a Europe cut like top 7.
Yes.
And you remember it was always on the news that his job is on the line.
Yes.
So I might be disappointed.
Especially
like
with those 22 losses.
Yeah, it's crazy for Spurs.
Yeah.
It might be a bit disappointing, but I'm not entirely surprised that he was fired. Though they should have given him a further year to prove that indeed he was the man for the job.
Because I remember during the parade he said that season 3 is always better than season 2.
Exactly.
But this was his season 2 and he won the title as he had promised, but walimaliza number 17. Labda hiyo ndo reason yake kufutwa?
Okay, I feel like maybe Tottenham walikuwa naona you saw what happened with Ten Hag. They won, he was supposed to go, then they won FA, wakamsamehea akabaki. But then shida from nowhere zimekuja zikakuja. So maybe they were seeing ni kama wakimwacha the same thing will happen next season.
And they actually said that the chairman Tottenham said that they could not base their decisions on the emotions of winning the first 17 years, just like you were saying, you know.
Yeah,
but so, that's not fair to the coach. It's not
but I think their jobs is always on the line and they expect such.
I think what the management or the board or the chairman is saying is basically Tottenham is a big team. And there's a place we cannot go beyond and there's a place we have to be. So for Tottenham to be, 22 losses?
Yes.
Is not really acceptable. The fans are obviously upset, but they were temporarily given a reprieve by the win in Europe.
The Champions League, what does this present to them?
Now the new coach coming, has to
be experienced
and get like 5 or 6 top players who will help not only their race for the Champions League, but next season in the Premier League.
Well, yes. When do you think that the sacking of the coach will itatatiza their route to preparing for the Champions League? Because it's no child's play in the Champions League, just like we saw this season.
I feel like it will if they don't get the perfect replacement for this guy. Wakipata tu mtu new kwa hii kazi, hana experience ya Champions League. It will be difficult for them. Exactly.
Yeah, who do you think might replace him?
They're already saying the Brentford man is called Frank something.
Yes.
But I'm not sure if he's European material.
Thomas Frank.
Thomas Frank. He's German,
yeah?
I'm not sure he's European qualification.
From Holland, sorry.
So we are yet to see what exactly Daniel Levy is looking for. And if indeed these are just rumors.
Do you think they could have Pochettino, have him from coaching the USA?
No, he has a contract.
Pochettino a good idea? A good
Pochettino has a running contract with the USA, and USA are preparing for the World Cup as hosts. So I don't think he's out of the question. But Thomas Frank, if indeed is the one to be picked, I want to see the kind of players he'll bring.
Yes, for
and
the
his
Champions League
experience
quality
for Europe.
Yes, indeed. When would you think might come to take over from Postecoglou? You know, stakes are high. Champions League is here. The signing of quality players is beckoning. They must, you know.
I can't really tell at the moment. Let's wait and see.
And Donny Iraola are some of the Marco Silva, maybe some of the coaches that are being touted as the possible replacements for Postecoglou. But also,
I feel like coaches will fear to come to Tottenham if
I don't know,
they're being treated the same way this guy has been treated. Hata wewe unaweza ogopa kwenda such place.
Actually, I think
do you think Akwana will fear to go anyway?
No. In the past 6 years, I think Spurs has had 3 coaches.
Sure.
Yeah, because there was Mourinho, there was Pochettino, now there's Postecoglou. Now he's gone. So it means that job is as risky as the one for Chelsea.
Yeah, and always, which means that Danny Levy, the chairman, is always in constant search of the man who will fix the gamble, the puzzle. That's as far as the title is concerned, and Postecoglou has just shown that they can win the titles, but he's been fired.
Yeah.
Maybe the main part of it all is him finishing in 17th position, and that means that the squad next season must be bolstered because they struggled a lot with the injuries.
Or maybe Tottenham are not used to winning trophies, so
Yeah,
you know they are rivals. So let me just waguze
it's true, they
kidogo.
struggle with injuries to
Yeah,
keep players,
sure.
no less.
Yeah.
So if these players come back and then you get away the dead
We saw
weight,
Kina Romero coming back towards the end.
so the dead weight to depart, and then like 5 or 6 come, and then what do you call him? Madison has to be fit the whole season.
Yes.
Then I think they stand a chance of, let's say, top 6, 7.
Yeah. And the Champions League will keep most of those players in that club, right?
Absolutely, but I think they'll be ruthless. Like what I hear is going to happen at Manchester with the boss.
Yeah.
I suspect a lot of guys will be shown the door.
Talk about Manchester United and how they've been so fast in the transfer window. Cunha is already there. They're being rumored. Who else is on the line?
Brian Buemo is rumored to be coming.
From Cameroon and Brentford, yeah.
Yes. Who's the goalkeeper we are linked to? There's
Manyan, I think. The AC Milan.
No, that one is going to Chelsea.
It's going to Chelsea.
Yeah, but
okay,
I think
there is the Espanyol goalkeeper.
Yes.
You know,
what I think is good.
Oh, a very good goalkeeper. I think they should buy that.
Yeah. What I think is good is that we are serious before pre-season action.
Martinez as well, Emi Martinez.
Yeah, Emi Martinez of Villa, yes.
But he made horrendous mistakes during their last match against Manchester United.
But that's one match.
Though they were robbed by the referee.
Anyway, that's one match. But listen, if we lock in signatures before players go on break or before pre-season, it's a good thing so that the players gel and unite. And remember, next season, every eye is on the coach. We want to see him build his own team, and we want to see him succeed.
100 million for the signing fee, not enough, right? But they can only get 2 players. They've already got Cunha for 50 plus, so they'll also get Mbumo maybe for 55 because the negotiation is ongoing.
What I think the best way to do it is what we know with FFP. When you buy a player, you better have one to sell, to recoup, and then use this money to buy players. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
When did you think that Akina Mbumo will get straight into the starting 11 for Manchester if they get there?
Amorim is a tricky coach. Anaweza kuja na ile squad yake no.
But he's the one looking for these new guys, which means the players he's recruiting are the ones who can fit in his style of play that he wants.
Yes, if he lets the others go. Wale hawataki.
But Garnacho has been told he has no space there. Who else is leaving?
Kina Holland.
Yeah, I think Holland. No, Zaxi should go. Holland should remain.
Are you sure? I'd rather sell Holland and keep
I think Holland, the kid has. We need to give him time. He's a top star.
Ama Diallo also.
Diallo has to remain.
Diallo has to remain.
Minor has to remain. We can't just sell our youngsters just because we
Onana maybe should get better competition.
Exactly. Onana should be number 2, and then we have a better competition. Yes.
Arsenal, of course, the song has been for us here all about the striker Gyökeres, the Swedish man who leads the European UEFA Nations League scorers chart with 9 goals.
He's still not sure if he's coming.
Yeah,
that's a sad news to us.
Yeah,
we really need him.
And of what value will it be for Arteta to sign a player who is in his twilight career in the name of Sane from Bayern Munich?
Okay, maybe experience, but Sane I think has also suffered a bit of injuries. Another issue, if I may raise, that's the reason why maybe Arsenal is not getting Gyökeres. Players have suddenly, I don't know if agents are being funny, you realize even Germany, they are overpricing their players. So agents and clubs have become funny. So players are so expensive. That's why, like, for example, Osimhen, if he came to Chelsea, he'll break the wage structure. So it's better if they go to Saudi where the money is available. But clubs now with the FFP, they're operating under some strict rules.
Strict rules. Yes, Wendy, maybe for Arsenal, also Sane, one of them, but you know, Sane maybe because he worked with Arteta at Manchester City at the height of his powers. But Chesko, a striker, what kind of a striker do they need?
We need a young striker, so somebody like Sane will not be a good idea to us.
You'll be like
if you see the squad, we are a squad of young stars. So if you bring somebody, okay, it works in Barcelona with Lewandowski and Kine Yamal. I don't think if it will work in Arsenal. So if we can get somebody like Gyökeres.
I think if we don't, let me say this way, if Arsenal doesn't get Gyökeres or somebody like Sesko, then it's another repeat. And I don't know if Arsenal are bold enough to just throw the money. I feel like they hold the money. You need to go out and put the money in the right place, and that is a strike.
That's a striker. Striker is what they need. That they need to score goals. But this is a team that scored 80 plus goals, and still with no forward.
But
including 7-1 in the group phase of the Champions League.
But still, people are not sure what Arsenal are doing behind the doors. Sasa
Oh,
utashtuka tu huku mbele.
Definitely, we've seen them signing Zubimendi.
A good signing, approved.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's one of the players who will just walk into the Arteta's.
Straight away.
Straight away.
And I've also seen Merino doing well. Maybe even without a striker, they can still work.
No,
But they
we
need a
just
striker.
And the qualities of Saka on the lines, Martinelli maybe on the left, they need somebody.
I'm saying like every Arsenal supporter, we're like Martinelli should go.
But he brings.
He needs somebody to
plays a
support
big
him.
role, you know.
Yeah.
He do actually he's a good player with his speed.
Yeah. But his
Akona
decision
effect.
making sometimes is weird.
Very
It's
pathetic.
very pathetic.
Yeah,
right?
I think he needs competition. Direct competition.
Chelsea also off the lines with the Delap and letting Sancho, paying £5 million for Sancho to go.
To go back, because again, like I explained, Sancho come and get 300,000. I'm not sure they would agree.
At Manchester.
Yeah.
And Manchester pays half of that.
Yeah, there's no way Chelsea would have agreed to that. So
And they have a lot of players.
yes, and they have a lot of players. And I think,
But they're signing more players. Yeah.
but if you've realized, Chelsea, when they sign you, you're not on a very high wage. You're on a high length of contract.
Yeah, sure. 7 years. Most of their players actually on 7-year contract.
I think the highest paid is the captain, Reece, probably 190. Nobody goes, and also nobody can earn more than the captain. I don't think it's wise. So it makes sense that they send Sancho back. But I'm not sure if Manchester has space for Sancho.
I feel like
Sancho going
was
back,
unwise giving such information ya kulipwa 300 and something.
But everybody will know.
No, what do you mean? Like if you
He's
play
unwise.
football, that means that you're in public eye, there's scrutiny, and the clubs are also required to give out the information
But ni
on
effects
how much
gani,
they pay their players.
ni effects gani, I mean positive effects gani amekuja nayo Chelsea? Not that much.
I think that's why they've declined to pay they've been able to pay the 5 million that allows them not to sign Sancho and let him
Chelsea
go.
are also really looking at to avoid financial fair play issues. So, for example, if you sign Delap on a 6-year contract and pay him, let's say 80,000, it's manageable. Then having somebody in 3 years and paying 150.
So we expect to see Chelsea next season
Chelsea's
growing and maturing and being one of the top 3 contenders all through the season.
Bad.
Bado.
Chelsea need a proper centre back, a proper number 9.
Proper number 9, Nicholas Jackson.
No, not yet. The club legends are saying they needed a player who bullies defenders like either Costa or Drogba.
But
Jackson has failed to meet that.
But the games and the formations have changed, right? We no longer see those thunderbolts from us at the 18 today.
Yeah. But if you are going to sign a striker, you better be sure of a 20 to 25 goal poacher who will definitely take you to the Champions League bracket. Otherwise, if other departments of the forward line is not working, then it's a problem.
They're in the Champions League, of course, and
I don't believe Sancho is going to survive in Chelsea also. He might retire very
Sancho has already left Chelsea, and I think he could not be going back to Manchester because their number.
Yes, Sancho.
Yeah.
He's going
back left.
But he will not survive in Manchester.
Oh, yeah. I think he's going to...
I think his options are not going back to Manchester.
Maybe Germany
where
or
will he
something.
go?
Yeah.
Bayern, Dortmund or something.
Yeah, and Manchester
Or
United, of
Leverkusen.
course, and Sir Ratcliffe's intentions and moves to cut costs, saying that he needs to cut costs at the Carrington and number of staff. Is that short term or long term? What's the long term that he should be looking
I think it's short term because they did they really make much money? Even
they went to East Asia the other day.
No, money, like proper money. So if you're not making proper
They
money...
made £7 million when they went to East
That's
Asia.
no money. Look, I think it's short term. It's trying to balance the books, and some players will have to be sold. I suspect Casemiro will go, and that captain of ours, Bruno, might feel. They gave him. I heard he's supposed to be paid 700k a week. I'm not sure if that's true in Saudi. He'll think of his. He'll think of his future. So I suspect it's short term for Sir Radcliffe as we build a team and then now look for money to develop even our infrastructure.
On infrastructure.
Yes.
That, of course, goes along. Cutting costs for them meant that Vargy and the rest of the team had to go.
Yeah, you lose some
You
benefits
lose some,
as
you
well.
win some. UEFA Nations League may be coming to a closure with tomorrow's final. Portugal and Spain.
That should be.
We have a nail-biting encounter
Nail-biting.
before us here.
Yeah, Iberian neighbors.
Yeah, Iberian derby.
Yeah, Spain and Portugal, traditionally it's a very good game. And it's like a rivalry also. I expect a good game, but I loved the game before the final. That is
The
Spain,
France-
Spain versus France.
Yeah.
It was
What-
electric.
I mean, 4-0 up, and
then
they almost
5-4.
lost it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw the captain Kylian of France
Mhm.
rush to the referee.
Referee.
According to him,
About
the
time.
time, because they would have actually equalized,
Yes,
and
yeah.
it would have been something else.
Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
but it
So
was a
what's your
good game.
prediction for the final? Spain against
I
Portugal
think
tomorrow.
Spain will win 2-1.
Spain will win 2-1.
Spain will win, but
Uh-huh.
they need to change on their defense.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They
Akina
don't have a
Page-
strong
Terrible,
defense.
Yeah.
True, true.
Yunus Simon, I think one of the two goalkeepers or players who will be so key, the Athletic Bilbao player who might count for this particular game. And also Portugal did so well, Coincicao with the wonderful,
I don't think
wonderful goal in the semis.
On Portugal playing, was it Germany?
Yeah, Portugal
that
beat
Ronaldo
Germany
goal was
2-1.
an offside goal. I know Ronaldo fans
But
will be my neck, but that was an offside.
Ronaldo still, claiming his stake there.
At 40 years,
he will be
Yeah, he's
in,
a leader and a legend.
Yeah.
His experience will count. But on the other side, the electric Yamal will cause problems.
and Pedri's
Can't wait for
and of
that.
course the Merino,
Yes.
Cucurella. I
Yeah.
think they might give them
If you
a run
see
for their
also
money. Yeah.
these two teams have also individual brilliance
Yes,
on
for
both
real.
sides. So it will be one or two things will be dependent on this player.
And some of the individuals who could just start for Portugal include Akina Vitinha, who just fresh from winning the
Yeah.
Champions League.
This Manu guy.
Neves,
Neto, Bernardo
Neto,
Silva. The list is endless.
yeah,
Anyway,
Bruno, yes.
that particular final is on tomorrow, the UEFA Nations League final. Both the two sides are gunning to win their second titles. Portugal are the winners of the inaugural edition in 2019. We put a cap on the fan zone. Yes. Champions League, I think we talked about it last weekend, right? And PSG won. So, yeah. Pedro Spende. Anyway, thank you so much, Barry and Wendy, for making your time and sharing the insights with us on the touchline. Let's do this again next Saturday here on Y254. Up until then, take care of yourselves. I'll see you then.